Till Last Credit here, coming to you guys with another review, and today we're going to be me and Miller are going to be talking about Atomic Blonde. Now, this is the first movie of David Leitch's that he hasn't done with co-director of John Wick, Chad Stahelski, and the only movie that he's ever done is John Wick with Chad Stahelski. He's a big second unit director and stunt coordinator. He also is directing Deadpool 2, which is set for release date of June of next year. And I was really, really excited for this movie, and it did let me down, and I'm kind of lowering my expectations for Deadpool 2. But Miller, what were your overall thoughts on this movie?
I didn't really care for it. I thought he brought a cool. David Leitch is a very stylistic director, and he definitely represented that here, but also I think a lot of his directing is really dry. The non-linear approach they take really makes it obvious how things are going to turn out.
Yeah, there's no tension. Like, the action is great and well directed, but it's just there's no tension in it because you already know that it's going to turn out right.
I saw everybody freaking out over that stairwell scene, but I thought the stairwell scene was really shaky.
I thought it was great. I really, that entire tracking shot.
Yeah, it was cool how it was the same shot, but I'm just it's kind of disorienting with how, I guess they're trying to give it that rugged feel, but it just became a little too much. But once it got out of the hallway and into that room, I thought it got a lot better.
But even though it's technically not, it's a tracking shot, but it's technically not a tracking shot because you can tell there are.
It's made to look like one, yeah.
But it counts tracking shot. But I thought it was really fucking. That shit went on for a while. That shit went on for a good probably 10 minutes. The car scene especially was really cool. I don't know how they were getting that camera angle like that. It was almost like they had some kind of fucking drone in the car that was going back and forth. But whatever they were doing with that was really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of good things about this movie. The action, for one. Charlize Theron's good in it.
Yeah, all the acting's. I think most of the acting's pretty good.
I don't know if I can think of any more positives. I really do not like this movie. I thought it was really, 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 really boring.
Yeah, I agree.
This movie was painful to sit through. I was so bored in it that I tried to go to sleep because I was just not interested. The plot, it's not engaging.
It's not that the plot's horrible, but it's just the movie feels so long and drawn out, and the little plot there is just gets suffocated by it.
And it just feels there's so many fucking twists and turns in this movie, and it's way too much. Most of it's just not even earned, and it just feels like it's just happening.
It feels like the writer is thinking of how clever he is.
Yeah,
but it's not.
You've mentioned this. I think you mentioned this when we reviewed Life. It's almost as if kind of like they were just kind of making it up as they went. Like they just were on set and they were like, we can put this twist in this scene. We'll just add that into the script or something like that. And it just felt so. It didn't feel needed. There did not need to be just this overly complicated, I guess. It was too much. Another thing with the script is this entire fucking movie feels like exposition. It's so much exposition in this movie, and I feel like the only reason the story is non-linear, which did not work at all, is because they couldn't figure out a way to explain what was happening if they went with a linear route. They went with a non-linear route so they could just flash forward in time and explain what was happening in that scene.
I guess yeah.
that we were seeing that technically took place in the past. But yet this entire movie just felt like exposition for me. And I thought what did you think of the characters?
I thought they worked for what they needed to for the most part, because you got such great actors that, like, you could give, like, Charlize Theron or James McAvoy, like, a weaker character, but they're such good actors that they're able to make the characters feel stronger than they actually are.
I like James McAvoy, his character. None of the characters in this movie don't really have any development at all. But I think that can work sometimes, not developing characters, if you give your characters personality and make them interesting enough. And I did not find, besides maybe James McAvoy's character, I did not find any of the characters in this movie interesting. This is something that David Leitch seemed to try and take from John Wick and incorporate in this movie, is try and add, I guess, somewhat mystery to the character instead of development to keep you interested in the character. And it worked for John Wick, because there were so many times in that movie where they brought up John Wick's past but didn't tell you exactly what it was, and it made you interested in his character, and it made him mysterious, and everyone was afraid of him. But with Lorraine Broughton, I was not interested in her character. I didn't find her mysterious at all. I didn't find her. I was not. When I saw her on screen, I didn't feel her presence like I did with John Wick. I didn't get anything from her character, and she just felt like just a typical asshole. She wasn't really much to me. And Sophia Boutel's character is
that whole thing was really forced.
Yes.
Like, I thought they had good chemistry, but it just sort of came out of nowhere, and you're like, okay.
And her character, again, she's just not interesting. Like, they try and make you care about her, and then she gets killed. And they want to try and evoke emotion out of the audience, but I was just like, I don't fucking care. Okay, she doesn't have that much screen time in the movie, and you guys didn't make her interesting at all. You just gave her a sex scene with Charlize Theron. I mean, okay, but it doesn't make her character interesting. But enough about the characters. I didn't really care for the characters besides James McAvoy.
James McAvoy was my favorite, but I do like with James McAvoy, I like roles when he can get really crazy like this.
Yeah, I do too. To touch a little bit on David Leitch's direction, there's way too much fucking neon in this movie.
I didn't mind it. I thought it gave it a cool look.
Well, the thing is, I think it can work to a certain extent, but is the entire fucking city of Berlin fucking neon? Jesus Christ. There's so much fucking neon in this movie that it feels like, I don't really know exactly how to word this, so I'll word it the best I can. It feels like there's a shot, for example, there's a shot in the first act that takes place in somewhere that's neon, and it's some kind of far shot or some kind of close-up shot. And in the second act, there's a place that's neon, and there's some kind of far shot, and there's some kind of close-up shot. Those shots look the same. The shots start to get like repetitive, and they all look the same because of how the environment is. It's weird. It feels like in certain places, like I'm just watching the same scene over again, with how the sets are designed, or how he colors the scene. It felt weird to me. Did you get that at all, or am I just crazy?
I thought it didn't really bother me, but I could see how that, from how you're describing it, how it would bother you.
Another shitty thing in this movie is one thing a lot of people have been complaining about, and that's the editing. Mainly the music.
The music was too, like, it wasn't Suicide Squad bad.
Yeah.
But it was far away from something like Baby Driver or Guardians of the Galaxy.
Especially in the action scene that takes place where she uses the rope and chokes the guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The music does not. Sometimes the music just does not fit the tone of the scene, and it feels so weird. and it just takes me out of
Yeah, you can tell like that's the tone they're wanting to go for, but that's not the tone the scene's conveying.
Not working.
Yeah.
How they edit the music is so fucking weird because, like, for example, Lorraine walks into a bar and there's music. You can hear the music playing as if it's playing in the bar, and then she pulls out a cigarette. Someone flicks on a lighter in front of her, and the music cuts, and there's no more music. And then in another scene at the beginning or not at the beginning of the movie. Yeah, at the beginning of the movie, this guy kills this other guy. He pulls up in his car, and there's this song playing, and you can hear it playing in the car. And he opens the door, and it gets louder. Then he closes the door, and it gets silent. And then you can hear it again. And then he gets back in the car, pulls off, the scene cuts, and the music is in the same song is really loud. And the edit, it just doesn't fit. Like, just put the song over the scene. You don't have to make it clever. Just fucking put the song over the scene. This is kind of a nitpick. I just found it weird. You guys are probably gonna find this as a weird criticism of mine, but there's a couple of shots in this movie where it seems like they just use stock footage of like time-lapse videos and put them in there for like scene cuts. Like they'll cut to the time lapse and they'll cut to the next scene, and it's like, why are you using that? Because it's just really weird, because the color grading in the scene before doesn't match the color grading in the time lapse cut, and then they cut and it's the same color grading again. But overall, how I would describe this movie, it's like drinking an extra large raspberry slushie.
Chugging it.
Yeah, or chugging it, yeah. At first, it tastes really good, and, you're like, yeah, this is good. And then as you start to drink more of it, your head starts to hurt, and then by the end of it, you just have a horrible fucking headache and you want to shoot yourself.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Overall, didn't really care for Atomic Blonde. Didn't think it was a total loss, but definitely not something I want to ever watch again.
Definitely.
It's just, yeah, like there was the potential there because there's a lot of talented people involved with this movie, but it just ends up being a boring, generic mess.
What did you guys think of Atomic Blonde? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe. Check out our website, tillthelastcredit.com, and check out our Twitter @tillthelastcred. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.